Welcome everyone to the Board of Commissioners regular meeting, May 7, 2024. At this time, I'll ask the City Clerk Beth Davis to please call the roll.
Commissioner Pam Smithwright.
Here.
Commissioner Sharon Neesmith.
Here.
Mayor Tom Watson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mark Casselin.
Here.
Commissioner Bob Glenn.
Here. Okay, at this time, I'll do the invocation followed by the pledge. If you're able to stand, please do so. This comes from the National Prayer Day that we had at the courthouse the other day, and I'm going to read a few paragraphs of it. We come with fervent hearts to praise the Lord. You are the Word, the way, the truth, the life, the Alpha and Omega, Lion of Judah, Almighty God, who was and is to come. You clothed yourself in flesh and dwelt among us to remove our sin and clothe us in your righteousness, that we may dwell in you forever. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's see, the first item on the agenda tonight is Professional Municipal Clerks Week. I normally read these out front, but our, what is it called? Professional Municipal Clerk has instructed me that I should read this from up here. On behalf of the City of Owensboro, all our retirees and all our employees, I proudly proclaim this as Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. Whereas the office of Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of Professional Municipal Clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the Professional Municipal Clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. And whereas the Professional Municipal Clerks continue to strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk through participation in education, different programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate, we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk. Now therefore, I, Thomas H. Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim May 5 through May 11, 2024 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the City of Owensboro, and further extend appreciation to our Municipal Clerk, Beth Davis, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the community they represent. Signed and sealed this 7th day of May, 2024.
Woo-hoo, go Beth.
Since you won't go down there, come over here. Jake, Rip and Graham. Thank you, Chicken Little. Do what?
And be sure to tell us your address. Yes, sir.
Saving me steps, she said. Okay. Again, all the citizens of Owensboro, and we have a proclamation for National Police Week. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Owensboro Police Department. And whereas since the first recorded death In 1786, more than 24,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Whereas 282 new names of fallen heroes have been added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 118 officers killed in 2023 and 164 officers killed in previous years. And whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund 36th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13, 2024. Whereas May 15 is designated as Police Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim May 10 through 16, 2024 as National Police Week in Owensboro, Kentucky, and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in the communities across the nation. Signed and sealed this 7th day of May, 2024. So I'd like the commission meet out front. We got a couple of cops here. Everyone's in there one time, wasn't it?
They do the work, sir. It's, my folks are the ones that do the work, sir. Get down.
Okay, we're gonna do a Rick and Grant. Rick, Grant, and Lord. Great. I'd like one of you two to speak. Got it? When you see somebody that's in a station, okay, please state your name and address for the record.
Officer Shane Bradsher with the Owensboro Police Department and 222 East 9th Street, Owensboro, Kentucky. And I just want to thank the commission and the citizens that we serve for the recognition. So it's very appreciated. So thank you all for what you do for us so we can return the favor to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Retirement recognition. Charles Chuck Lanham. Come forward, Charles. Oh, he's not here, is he? Okay. After 2 decades of service to the city of Owensboro, Chuck is ready to embark on a well-earned retirement. Chuck Lanham began his career with the city of Owensboro at Public Works on January the 20th, 2004. Throughout his career, Chuck has diligently served in various capacities, including as stormwater laborer, sanitation driver, street road worker, and more recently as a valued member of the sign shop team. Chuck's commitment to hard work and punctuality has set a standard that few can match. Regardless of the circumstances, he has consistently been available to assist with post-storm cleanup and special events, demonstrating his dedication to the community. While Chuck will be missed, his retirement is undeniably well-deserved. We extend our heartfelt thanks and wishes for success and fulfillment in his future endeavors. Okay, Charles. Okay. Business. 5A, I think, is that right? Municipal clerk. Can- You finished?
Yes.
Okay. Consider approval of minutes dated April 16, 2024. I'll make a motion to approve these minutes. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. This time, we'd like for you to consider these board appointments. Owensboro Davis County Building Code Appeals Board, reappoint Byron Westerfield to a 4-year term, effective May 7, 2024. Owensboro Historic Preservation Board, reappoint Gary Adams. Hey, Gary. To a 3-year term, effective May the 17th, 2024. Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission, appoint Michelle Drake to fill the remainder of an unexpired term, which ends December 31st, 2026, replacing Charlotte Wells, who moved to North Carolina. Senior Community Center of Owensboro and Davis County Board, appoint Rick Latazio and Mike Robinson to a 3-year term effective May 7th, 2024. Alliance for a Drug-Free Owensboro and Davis County, appoint Rebecca Horn to fill a remainder of an unexpired term, which ends August 31st, 2025. She'll be replacing Shelley Newcomb. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve these appointments. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any further discussion? Now's the time. If you want out, Gary, you can get out. You good? All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, municipal order. Ms. Davis. It's her, the municipal clerk, so.
Municipal Order 9-2024, a municipal order approving the 2024-2025 Annual Action Plan for Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Funds, prepared by the Community Development Department, and authorizing and directing the mayor to execute same. Read for approval on one reading the 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6B, please.
Municipal Order 10-2024, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an application for the Patrick Lay Bulletproof Vest Partnership Initiative Grant administered by the Bureau of Justice Assistance, designed to provide critical resources to law enforcement jurisdictions for the purpose of reimbursing the Owensboro Police Department for 50% of the total cost of $32,546.68, expended to purchase 37 new bulletproof vests and plates, that amount being $16,273.34. Read for approval on one reading the 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
City Manager, do you have any comments?
Mayor, just to briefly reiterate what the professional municipal clerk read, that this is a bulletproof vest partnership grant application that we submit annually. We're applying for 37 vests. Our total cost will be $32,546, and the grant will reimburse us 50% of that cost, and our portion is budgeted and available if the grant is funded.
So do all our police officers have vests? Okay, good. Okay, any other discussion?
I just had one very quick question for Nate. How do they determine how long a vest lasts, assuming it's just something that they
That's
have?
a great question. That's a little more technical.
And
so
I'm
I'd
sorry,
defer
JD, I did not mean to do that
Deputy
to you,
Chief Winkler.
but-
I know it's a replacement cycle that they have a certain
It just came to
lifespan.
mind,
I just don't
how
know
long, how
what
do you
that plan
determine
is.
when they're no longer up
They-
to standard?
They have a 5-year expiration date, sir.
5 years.
So, yes, they
Okay,
last 5
so
years.
just basically after 5, you replace them as a matter of course. Okay.
Correct, sir.
Thank you, guys.
I got another one.
Commissioner Castleton.
Thank you, Mayor. What do you do with the old vest? Do you
Well, after the vest, the Kevlar deteriorates through body sweat and time. So there are times if they have, if an officer retires and there's a couple years left on it, we will reuse them. But after they've expired, they're, the manufacturer won't certify them to be bullet resistant anymore after that point, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, JD. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sounds like something a rookie might need. Any other questions?
I like bullet resistant
Bullet resistant?
instead of bulletproof.
vote.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 6C.
Municipal Order 11-2024, a municipal order authorizing the mayor to execute a third addendum to management and lease with option to purchase agreement as amended and restated between the City of Owensboro and River Park Center, Inc. Read for approval on one reading the 7th day of May, 2024.
I'll entertain a motion. Could I have a second, please? City manager, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. The city owns the River Park Center property, but we have a long-term lease with the River Park Board of Directors for them to operate and manage the facility. The lease includes not only the main areas of the River Park, such as Cannon Hall, but also includes the Turley Building, which is the area along Second Street that formerly housed the Bluegrass Museum. As I understand it, the idea was that after the Bluegrass Museum vacated and moved to their existing or the new site, River Park could then lease the space, the Turley Building space, to a tenant to provide a source of revenue to benefit the River Park Center. However, as you know, other than the Guitar Center and Ferris Guitars, the Turley Building remains vacant. A few months ago, the River Park Center Board asked if we would amend their lease to remove the Turley Building from their responsibility. The board determined that they would rather focus on their core mission as a performing arts center and prefer not to be in the business of commercial real estate. In accordance with their request, this municipal order amends the lease agreement between the city and the River Park to remove the Turley Building from the lease and thus their responsibility. As a result, the management of the Turley Building would revert to the city as the property owner. We have no tenant or specific project in mind for that space at this time. This is really just something we're doing at their request because they no longer wish to be a landlord or in that business, which we certainly understand.
Any other discussions? And when it's supposed to call BR 422 to rent the place, how do they get a hold of it?
Well, we will find a purpose for that. We're working on it now,
Okay.
nothing to announce, but we are probably better positioned than River Park Center to find a productive use of that. Of course, that is a high-profile corner in downtown, so we will endeavor to put that building to good use.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 6D, please.
Municipal
Davis.
Order 12-2024, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with Murphy's Investments LLC, providing that the city shall reimburse Murphy's Investments LLC 50% of the total ad valorem, excluding school tax, general fund net profits, and general fund occupational tax revenues derived from property located at 2808 West Parish Avenue, containing 13.747 acres more or less, over a designated 5-year period. Read for approval on one reading the 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
City manager, please.
Happy to, Mayor. In November, we annexed the property at 2808 West Parish Avenue. This is the area behind the Lee's Chicken on Carter Road and is the remaining acreage of the property that we acquired to build the basin for the York Drainage Project that's currently under construction. So if you remember, late last year, we annexed all of that area behind Lee's there. It has a West Parish Avenue, but most of the property you would associate probably more so with Carter Road itself. However, we did not consider the annexation incentive at that time. As such, this municipal order approves the annexation incentive, and it is our typical 5-year rebate period that we do for virtually all of our similar projects.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. City manager items.
Thank you, Mayor,
You're
for
welcome.
your consideration tonight. We have the following personnel appointments. Andrew Wilson, probationary, full-time, non-civil service appointment to firefighter with the fire department effective May 27th. And then for regular status, or those who have finished their probationary period and transitioning to regular status, we have Johnny Connor and William November, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointments to police officer with the police department effective May 7th. Hunter Reagan, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointment to sanitation manager with Public Works Sanitation Department effective May 7th. Terry Seaton and Landon Upton, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointments to crew leader with Public Works Street Department effective May 7th, and Connor Rutherford, regular full-time non-civil service appointment to labor maintenance helper with the Public Works Grounds Department effective May 15th.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. City manager comments.
A couple tonight, Mayor. As we get to the end of the school year and the warmer weather, we begin festival season in the community. And of course, we have a lot of festivals coming up in the short term. This weekend, I think most of you know, is the Barbecue and Barrels event. So I just wanted to remind everyone that that is a good event. It's not a city event, but we do partner with the board that produces that event. And so just make sure everyone knows that 2nd Street by the Blue Bridge will close on Thursday morning to begin setup, and then the remaining portions of 2nd Street down to the Convention Center and Veterans Boulevard will close on Friday morning as well. Of course, those will be posted. They have been shared, and so we're happy to partner with the board who oversees that event, along with our friends at Visit Owensboro, to help market and produce that event. And then next weekend on Friday, May 17th, kicks off the new season of Friday After 5. And so it is moving back to the River Park again. Not a city event, so they have a board of directors for the Friday After 5, but they are good partners of ours, and we work closely with them. And so for this season, of course, Veterans Boulevard will close, and then going back to the older model from previously, we will close 2nd Street as well. Those will be marked, but there will be some traffic disruption, especially the first couple of weeks as people adapt to that. So I wanted to make sure everyone knew that. That, of course, is shared in the media and shared on social media and the various platforms that we do, but wanted to mention that tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Glenn?
Yes, just 3 quick things. First, I hope everyone will come out to Barbecue and Barrels this weekend. I think it'll be a great event, and there's a lot of good work that goes into planning that. A few weeks ago, we had the Spring Cup soccer tournament at Thompson-Berry, and I just want to say, talking to some officials, players, coaches, parents, I'm really excited that what Amanda Rogers has outlined, or beginning to outline and study to upgrade Thompson-Berry, not just the fields, but hopefully the facilities as well. It's really a nice facility if you're a player or an official, because it drains really well. It drains really well, which is important when you get inclement weather. The other facility in town does not drain as well, I can tell you that. But it is a jewel of a facility, and we do need to upgrade it, because if you go to Lovers Lane and Bowling Green, if you go to Elizabethtown Sports Complex, they have amenities we don't have. So I'm really excited to hear Amanda and her team planning that as part of our Parks Master Plan, and I'm looking forward to the developments. And then the last item is essentially that there's been some discussion that I'm hearing about going back to the temperature that triggers a white flag event and going back to a lower temperature. I would just publicly state I would be against that. I think that is a terrible decision. I know it costs us a little more money because it involves more days when we're at the 30-degree mark, but I can assure you, if you or I were told to sleep outside in 30-degree temperatures, we would quickly wish to have access to shelter. So I would hope that we do not go backwards in that. I know there's some discussion about money, so that's my view. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Commissioner Smith-Wright.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
I went to the grand opening of Mentor Kids today, and they have a new facility on Beach Road, and it's very nice, and they do great things for kids. And also, the only other thing I have is to wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day this Sunday.
Mr. Castle.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the post office today. Mayor read a proclamation there. They're having a food drive this Saturday. So I ask that any and everybody that has some extra food, put it outside by your mailbox, and your postman will be happy to pick it up and take it in to help replenish many of the food kitchens that we have around town. I can't remember who the group was that was speaking, but they said you might remember, Mayor, they said they prepared 10,000 meals last year.
That's correct.
Anyway, it goes,
I had to make sure that you talk about non-perishable goods.
yes, non-perishable foods. No cakes or pies sitting out there,
No
but
deer meat.
Anyway, I also went by the Mentor Kids this evening, and as Ms. Smithwright said, it's a very nice facility. They even recruited me to help put up some drywall here in the near future. Wasn't expecting that, but I was happy to volunteer for it. And sorry to say I'll have to miss the barbecue and barrels. My wife and I are heading on a trip to Alaska, a cruise, so I'll have to miss that. But
Is it one way?
no, it's not.
Oh,
It's
you're
round
coming
trip.
back? Okay.
Yes, yes. Don't get excited, Mayor. But anyway, we're looking forward to that. It's our first cruise ever, so hopefully it'll go good and smooth. No ocean sickness. But that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Neesmith.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
I just would like to reiterate about the barbecue and barrels. Those of you that do know me from the past, I've been involved when it was the International Barbecue Festival. And COVID actually was the Barbecue and Barrels is actually the new venue after COVID. So it's in its infancy. Last year was the first year. There's been a lot of people behind the scenes, and I'd like to, Shaylee and Tim, I know have been working on it, and I don't know who else you've wrestled in there to help you, Tim, but I know it's a lot of folks, and a lot of the city folks actually work to make sure that we have safe areas, lighted areas, that the streets are good. So I would like to just ask everybody to remember I've already heard it this year, and I will admit that I am a little gun shy, but I always heard how the barbecue festival about 20, 30 years ago was not as elegant as they would like for us to be downtown. So I'd like to remind everybody, but the first barbecues that I think that time they had whiskey, I'm not sure that they called it bourbon, was back in 1874. And I promise you, they had dirt fields and barbecue and whiskey and a lot of fellowship, and they were on the church properties and a lot of the political fields. So just remember, it's our heritage. Yes, each day we're going to get better. Each year we'll get better with what's going on. But it's really magnificent what's happening. There's last year was the first year. It was in its infancy. Yes, all of the vendors ran out of food around 5:30 or 6, I think, on Friday night, and had to go back and get more. So that tells you people are looking for it. But like I say, a lot of people say, well, it's just not the same. Well, guess what, you all? I'm not the same as I was 20 years ago either. But, you just keep trying to be better and get there. So please remember all the folks that are working. And one of the best kept secrets of the festival all along has been the fact all of our church teams, they cook, and that's their charitable, that's how they make some of their charitable monies to help people in the community. So this year we're excited because a fifth team is coming back, Immaculate, and so we'll have 5 church teams down there. The only difference is they're going to cook at the church and bring it down versus bringing all the pits down. Personally, I love the pits, but I don't think I'd want to help them move them either, so I don't blame them for that. So I just want to encourage you, yes, always give us ideas and the teams how we can be better, but just remember that back in the past, I did do a short survey on how much money was actually raised during the festival that went back to just charitable organizations, and I would say about 10 years ago, that number was over $60,000. So I want people to know it's about food, it's about fun, it's about family, and it's also about trying new things and seeing what we can do. So just go, have fun, eat. I would say eat, drink, and be merry, but that's probably not what you're supposed to say. But, they have great lemon shake-ups, I know that. So, and then you've heard of if you haven't seen it, we do have the raffle going on. And I just wanted to explain to everybody what happens with that raffle. The board actually raises money. The city, in the past, we always paid, like for anything that anybody helped us with, the board pays for that, and they raise their money. And every space on all down 2nd Street, every 10 feet brought in $500 from the vendors. Well, then everybody was like, oh, you've got too many vendors, it's too crowded. So that was one of the things that the board took into account. So now we have to have monies to put on a festival. We're going to have 2 concerts, Friday and Saturday night, and to make all this happen. So we are, everybody says, oh, you're trying to be like a certain city across the river that has their festival and their half pot. But it's like, nope, this is the Owensboro, Davis County half pot 50-50 raffle, and they have much better odds than the one across the river. So please help, and that money will go to make sure we have a festival again next year. So just kind of want you to know what was going on, and Tim's over there giving me like, so I'll quit. Thank you all.
Tim, you have anything you'd like to add? You got it? Okay, I want to piggyback on what Commissioner Glenn had said. I got an email and from a homeless volunteer. I wanted to express the importance of our White Flag program and its success in the past winter with temperatures at 32 degrees. We were able to get 2,163 men, women, and children off the streets and out of the cold. They were able to place several into homeless programs. Most important was keeping the strain off our local hospital and homeless winter illnesses and injuries, as well as the massive medical costs down. I've been informed that there will be a meeting to talk about lowering the temperature to less than 32 degrees, keeping in mind the surrounding tri-state, Henderson, Louisville, Evansville, and Indiana, is set at 35 degrees. I implore you to keep the temperature at 32 at least. Thank you for your time and service to the people. So that reinforces what you said, Commissioner Glenn, that's a pretty good number. Okay, let's see.
Mayor.
You had your.
No, I want to ask you a question about that.
Go ahead.
Did you say that one was in favor of 32 degrees?
Yes.
Okay. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of 35.
She's a volunteer for the homeless, so
Oh, okay.
she's got her. Can I comment on that, Mayor? Can you? $5?
Well, checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail, yeah.
So it's kind of interesting because I think that email alluded to the fact there's been discussion. I can assure you there has not been any discussion about lowering it. I have a meeting scheduled with the judge. It's on my calendar. I don't know offhand when it is, but there has been no prior discussion about lowering it. So I think maybe her fears are perhaps unfounded or maybe based on rumor, but certainly I understand your direction on that. So I just can assure you all there's been no conversation to this point about lowering it.
Thanks for the point of clarification. Anybody else have any comments about the homeless and the 32? All right. Okay. Open public forum. Members of the audience may address the Board of Commissioners on any matter of public concern that was not on tonight's agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of the Commission. Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. The meetings are not intended to serve as public forums for candidates who are campaigning for public office. Political candidates will not be allowed to use the commission meetings to promote his or her candidacy for public office. This time, anyone who wishes to address the City Commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less. Since the item is not on the agenda, no response is required from the staff of the Board of Commissioners. Staff or the Board of Commissioners, the mayor reserves the right to extend the time to the speaker. So, anybody like to speak? Going once? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Could I have a second? Second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.